Boy, it sure does seem like the Bengals have been involved in a lot of shootouts this year, huh? Well, if you think that, you wouldn't be wrong. 4 of their 5 games have gone over the total, and by an average of more than 11 points per game, so they are soaring past these numbers. In a Week 6 matchup against the Giants, I'll play this game to go over as well. Hopefully Malik Neighbors is back, but after what we saw last week, maybe we can trust the Giants to do their part on the scoreboard. We can certainly trust Joe Burrow and the Bengals to do theirs as well. So I like the over in this matchup with Cincinnati involved. Detroit-Dallas promises to be one of the better games on the Week 6 slate, and it's the Lions who are a field goal road favorite against the Cowboys. In this spot, you can trust Dan Campbell. His team's coming off a Week 5 bye, and with Campbell at the helm, Detroit is 11-3 ATS when they have the rest advantage over their opponent. Dallas is coming off that tight, close, physical win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So because the Lions are a little fresher, I think they win and cover on the road in Dallas. Oh, this one's very simple. You got Jaden Daniels and Lamar Jackson, the quarterbacks and offenses that rank 1 and 2 in the NFL in EPA per play. You have 2 defenses that also rank bottom 3rd in the NFL in yards allowed per play. Light up the scoreboard, baby, in this DMV matchup. I'm going to take the Ravens and the Commanders going over the total, thinking we get a shootout with Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels providing the fireworks. Titans may have some questions at quarterback with Will Levis, but they don't have any concerns at running back. Coming off a Week 5 bye, Tony Pollard gets a matchup against a Colts defense that's allowing 6 yards per play, tied for 2nd worst in all of the NFL. For that reason, I think we get a big box score for Pollard. The way I want to play this game, Pollard over his rushing plus receiving yards against that Indy defense. It's very simple what I'm going to do anytime I see the Panthers on the schedule this season. When it comes to betting, I'm just going to take the other team to score a lot of points. Give me Atlanta over their team total. Coming off that 500-yard performance, I don't know if Kirk Cousins is going to throw for that many against this Panther defense, but he, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, the whole Falcon offense should be good to go and putting up massive numbers. One of my favorite bets for Week 6, the Falcons over their team total against Carolina. Got an NFC South rivalry game here with the Buccaneers and the Saints down in New Orleans. Rookie quarterback Spencer Rattler making his first ever NFL start. Because of that, I think we have a lower scoring game. The Saints are a home dog. I think they're live. I think with that crowd and the new quarterback boost, there might be some juice in the Superdome that helps the Saints keep this close or win the game outright. But because they're starting Rattler, I don't know if they can win a shootout. I think the defense shows up. I think they keep Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay offense in check somewhat. So regardless of who the winner of this game is, I like to finish under the total. You may not know this, but through 5 weeks of the season, the Denver Broncos have the best defense in the entire NFL in terms of EPA per play. That's right. Sean Payton's defense is what has the Broncos at 3-2 off to a very good start, not his offense. The Chargers defense, also pretty good, 4th in EPA per play. They also have the highest design run rate in the entire NFL. So 2 great defenses and 2 offenses, especially the Chargers who want to run the football. I don't care how low the number is. Chargers, Broncos, Week 6 finishes under the total. If you've watched me on SportsCenter or ESPN Bet Live, just talking about the Steelers anywhere this season, you know every time they're on the docket, I'm going to take their game to finish under the total. Why wouldn't I? 4 of the 5 games involving the Steelers this year have come in under the total, and it's not even been close. They're coming in under by an average of 7 points per game. In a matchup against a Raiders offense that now turns to their backup quarterback and still has no Devontae Adams, sure, I like another 20-13 game involving the Steelers. This game is going to come in under the total. Green Bay, Arizona features 2 of the best teams in the NFL at running the rock. The Packers are 3rd. The Cardinals are 4th in rush yards per game. Because of that dominance on the ground, that efficiency, and 2 defenses that don't really scare me, plus a couple quarterbacks in Jordan Love with his arm and Kyler Murray with his legs that can really make explosive plays, I like this Week 6 matchup in Green Bay to come in over the total. Drake Maye makes his NFL debut in this Week 6 matchup with the Patriots hosting the Texans, and it may be uncomfortable, but I'm going to take the Patriots plus the points here. Despite the fact that 84% of the bets at ESPN Bet midweek were on the Texans, the line was moving midweek in favor of the Patriots off of a key number. So that raises my antenna and tells me the QB change boost And the lack of Nico Collins, maybe, has the sharp money leaning on the Patriots. I'll follow that money and take the points with New England. Boy, it has been ugly for Deshaun Watson in this Cleveland offense this year. But one thing that has been bankable is Deshaun using his legs. He's had 20-plus rushing yards in 4 of the 5 games played this season. He's facing all kinds of pressure, either through his own inability to read the defense or just the lack of productivity from his offensive line. Either way, he is bailing out and trying to make plays with his legs. In a matchup where he's likely dropping back in trail mode a lot against an Eagles team that's completely healthy on offense, I think we see a lot of runs, and 20-plus rush yards is the bet at ESPN BET for Deshaun Watson. Week 6 is one of the annual stops for the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. They're going to take on the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams. That offense is starting to look okay. And that Jaguars defense, not looking okay. As a matter of fact, every week the Jaguars have allowed at least one receiver to go for 70 or more yards. For that reason, my favorite bet for this Week 6 matchup in London is DJ Moore, the top receiver for the Bears, to have 60-plus receiving yards. Caleb Williams is starting to get comfortable, and because of that, I think Moore has a big day against the Jets. Got a good Monday night game with the Jets and the Bills, Aaron Rodgers versus Josh Allen. Of course, the big news this week surrounding the Jets, they fired Robert Saleh. Jeff Ulbrich, the new head coach, and he will debut on Monday night against the Bills. Dating back to 2020, coaches making their debut after an in-season firing, 9-2 ATS. It's a new head coach bounce. And I think Rodgers is probably going to be excited that Saleh is no longer his head coach. So I'll take the Jets plus the points against a Bills team that is struggling on offense to find playmakers.